Today is Friday, January 27th, 2023. It's 3:24 p.m. I'm calling the Lapeer County, Michigan Circuit Court. I've got a new judge that I just found out about. His name is Judge Michael Nolan. I guess Judge Holoka retired. And I'm calling about my 42-month-old speedy trial. I've gone through 2 courts, 3 judges, 2 prosecutors, and my 3rd court-appointed legal assistant, who just disappeared on me. I've got my trial starts next Friday, February 3rd, 2023, and I don't have court-appointed legal counsel, which I have a right to under the 6th Amendment. So, as of now, this court is not a viable legal court. They're in violation of my 1st Amendment, 4th Amendment, 5th Amendment, 6th Amendment, 7th Amendment, 8th Amendment right, and 14th Amendment rights. Seven major violations of our Constitution. So this is what I've been dealing with for 48 months. Let's see what goes on. I'm going to have to call back. I filled out paperwork to get an attorney, and 2 weeks ago I haven't heard anything, so I'm calling back to find out what's going on. Everything's a battle with corrupt Lapeer County. I'm law enforcement, not them.
Lapeer County. Our normal business hours are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We are open to the lunch hours. Press 1 for Judge Nolan's criminal clerk. Press 2 for Judge Nolan's civil clerk.
Circuit Court, this is Ashley. How may I help you?
Oh, hi, Ashley. This is... I got your paperwork.
Oh, hey,
hi.
Happy to hear from you.
Oh, good.
So, I need a good phone number from you so that I can get it to who they're going to appoint for your case.
Okay, I thought you didn't...
As your assistant.
Didn't I give it to you last time I talked with you?
I didn't get your phone number. I got your email.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm sorry.
I may have gotten your phone number, but it's okay.
Yeah, I just I've been busy on other things, dealing with the Secretary of State, who's interfacing with this whole Lapeer case. They helped sabotage this case, and I've been dealing with them, so that's why I haven't had a chance to call you back. But my number is 810.
Thank you so much. And then, Mr. Date that we had set for February, that's not going to give a new court-appointed counsel enough time to adequately help you with what your case needs defense-wise. So Judge Nolan wants, because Judge Holoka is gone, you have a new judge now, and obviously this is fresh eyes on your case, and he wants to make sure everything's done the right way going forward on your case.
Nothing's been gone. Nothing's gone right at all in this case, and it's in violation to 6.
Exactly.
Ashley, I don't know John Nolan or Mr. Nolan, Michael Nolan, but he's but he's coming brand new into this. He doesn't know anything about it, and I don't want to get
Correct.
I don't want to get into a tussle with him. But is he going to drag it out another 6 months? Because the Secretary of State blew up my car and made it impossible for me to get to my trial. John Miller knew all about it. He made up a phony excuse that I failed to appear, and he knew all about it for a week earlier. And another issue that I have is this second lawyer, this court-appointed attorney. The first one I fired, and she's guilty of malpractice, and that's Colleen Starr. The second one told me that he was taken off the case, but first he said it was by Judge Holoka, then he said it was by the state of Michigan, then he hung up on me. I have no idea who took him off the case, and then you told me he was never taken off the case.
So can I just, I'm going to stop you. So he was taken off as your court-appointed attorney.
Yeah, but when?
And he was left on as an advisor to you back in 2020. And then he was left on as advisory counsel for you.
Right.
As you refer to him, your court-appointed assistant, correct?
Right.
Okay, so he was left on as that. Per court note from one of the hearings that you had, he was then to be taken off as your court-appointed assistant.
No, so
we're making him submit an order to be signed so that we can get you a new court-appointed.
Yeah, but he should have done that 6 months ago. That's why I'm telling you. I've been sabotaged, and it wasn't me that took him off that case. This is what's getting real ugly about this, Ashley. This court-appointed attorney. I was due for my trial on April 26th, 2022. I wasn't there. My car was blown up. The court-appointed attorney knew all about it. He's my witness that I was in contact with John Miller all that time. But instead, on the 26th, when my car was being serviced to have the interlock device replaced, and he knew all about that, he said that I failed to appear. So he put out a warrant for my arrest, and then I when I found out about that, then I had to force Fred Miller to tell me exactly what form that I need to file a motion to dismiss the warrant for my arrest. And so I forced him to do that. And the day that I was supposed to go to court, which was June 13th, the day before, I sent him a text message and I said, I'll see you in court. And while I was on the road the next day, because I'm 3.5 hours away, I got a text message from him saying I won't be able to be in court. And I never dismissed him from court. There's something shady going on, something illegal going on. Now, how do I get this investigated? Because this is what you're telling me is that Fred Miller told me he was taken off the case in June, last June, and here it is. We're going into February. Now you're telling me that you're going to drag it on even longer, which I have all rights to just have this case dismissed, but I don't want. I want a jury trial because there's 3 corrupt Elmont police that need to go to jail, and the whole county's covering it all up, and I don't know what else to do, how else to get to. Yeah.
I want you to have your day in court. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make that possible for you. I want to get you new court-appointed counsel. I'm taking all the steps. I've always treated you with respect.
Oh, I know you have.
I take this very seriously.
I appreciate that.
And I want you to have your day in court. So I'm having Fred Miller draft an order for the case so that we can remove him fully from it based on the representation that he's given, based on representation from the court notes from previous hearings. He is off the case. And we will have an order in the file to reflect that and be done. Close that door.
He sabotaged
a new court-appointed counsel for you.
He sabotaged my case. That guy's is supposed to be working for me. He's my court-appointed assistant. He's not your court-appointed assistant. He's not working for your department trying to sabotage me. But I'm telling you something. He worked with John Miller. He couldn't show up in court. When I showed up in court, I don't know if you knew about this, but these rats tried to have me arrested. I showed up on June 16th, and the first thing, John Miller wasn't around. Can you tell me, is John Miller going to prosecute this? I want John Miller to prosecute this, not one of his flunkies. The last guy on June 16th, this guy tried to arrest me because he said, first thing he said is, well, that's not you. I said I would have been in court, but my Secretary of State mandated interlock device blew up for the second time, and I couldn't make it to court. It wasn't my fault. So he said, well, you have to prove that, and he said that's your fault. You could have gotten an Uber, a 3.5 hour drive with an Uber. He said that's your responsibility, and you didn't. It's all your fault that your car blew up. And they were about ready to arrest me, and the only way that I got out of it is Holoka. It said you have proof that you have this device on your. You have an order to have this device on. And I said, well, I got the device on the car. Go take a look at it. He said, no, you got to have paperwork. So luckily, I had to run out to my car. I had to get my computer, and I had to find my files. And I showed him where I had the file. That's the only reason they had a big plan on arresting me. That's the kind of justice I'm getting from Lapeer County. These people, this whole case is phony. They when you go back to this case, John Miller's had this case for 2 years, and I gave him what's now 180 evidence videos proving that I'm innocent. And I told him 2 years ago, I said, you tell me which ones you dispute, and he didn't dispute anything. He knows this is a phony case, and he tried to dismiss it last. In June of 2021, in June, and he said, "Hey, you make this case. I'll make this case disappear. You move out of state and don't come back." And I had this stupid interlock device on my car, and then I had this other judge, a Secretary of State Judge Soma. I was trying to get restrictions so I could drive out of state and drive odd hours. and actually move. And I wrote to her 7 times, and I asked her, please do this, and she said, well, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. And she dragged it on. And at the time, I couldn't tell John Miller that I could take his offer, so I had to refuse that offer. And then a month later, the Secretary of State blew up my car, and that dragged on for.
Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand. I know, and I'm trying to stop all of this.
Yeah, because
can I put you on hold for just a moment? Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to have you speak with Judge's secretary. Her name's Deb Johnson. She's wonderful. She's taking this just as seriously as I am, and she's going to tell you what needs to happen on your case, okay? Don't go into all the background. We're well aware. We know just how we're going to move forward, okay?
Okay. I just...
Okay, hold on.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on just a second. Hi, Mr. This is Deborah. How can I help you?
I don't know, Deborah. Ashley said you were going to explain things to me.
Well, I know Ashley to be extremely competent and very good at her job, so I'm assuming she's already explained to you why this is going to be adjourned, should you choose to have new counsel.
I didn't choose, ma'am.
Your new counsel has to get into the case, sir. I'm going to finish because I seen your email where you're requesting counsel. So Fred needs to do a stipulated order. You'll have to sign that order allowing him off of your case. We can then let indigent counsel know that you need another attorney. That attorney will have to file an appearance and a demand with the prosecutor's office.
So this is going to take...
They'll have to get discovery.
This is going to take
have to meet with you.
6 more months, huh? Because Deb, you said...
Unfortunately, that's not a decision that we made. It's a decision that you made by asking Fred to step off your case.
No, ma'am. You know, I just talked with Ashley. She said she was in complete understanding of what's going on. And then she said she's going to put me through to you, and you don't know anything about what's going on. Fred Miller sabotaged this case.
I actually don't need to know the background to know that if you choose to have Fred off of your case and you wish for new counsel, we need to get Fred off of your case. Therefore, you need to draft a stipulated order allowing him off. You must sign that order that says you want him off. Okay? Then that gets into the file. Indigent counsel is notified that you need another attorney. That attorney then gets appointed. That attorney has to file an appearance and a demand. They get discovery, and then we move forward.
Ma'am, this. I've been sabotaged right from the start, and you don't know anything about this case.
Sir, this is not sabotaging.
How can you tell me this, ma'am?
I've read the file enough to know.
Fred Miller took himself off the case. Fred Miller took himself off the case in June 16th, 2022. He took himself off. And if he took himself off this case, why didn't he fill out that paperwork and tell me what he was doing?
That's a question you have to ask for Fred Miller. That's not a question for
Then how do I file a complaint against Fred Miller? This and Fred Miller.
That's not a question for this office.
Well, who do I ask?
We cannot give you any type of legal advice or any type of advice regarding that. All I can tell you is that he is not officially off of your case.
That's not my fault, ma'am.
This is not illegal. You have to agree to it,
ma'am. I didn't agree to anything. I'm telling you something. I got proof this guy lied. I have evidence that this guy lied, and he's in collusion with John Miller, who's sabotaging my case. Okay, can I write a letter to this new judge and explain what's going on, because I'm not getting anywhere. I just spoke. I don't understand. Ashley said she understood exactly what's going on, and your office was on my side, and you understand that I've been railroaded. Do you understand this case is in violation of
No. There's nobody in this office who's going to pick a side. That's not what a court does. A court is a neutral party who views the facts of the case and then goes forward.
The facts of the case.
I can tell you, Ashley can tell you that. She understands your background and what's going on with the case.
The facts of this
case. So at the end of the day, here's how this is going to work. Fred Miller's still on the case. He needs to get off the case. In order to do that, a stipulated order must be done and signed. That's just the fact of the case. You need another counsel. One has to be appointed for you. In order to do that, Fred must get off. It doesn't matter that he's announced to you that he's off, and it has to be in the court record that he is off.
Ma'am, he was...
So you have an option to come in and sign the stipulated order?
Ma'am, I'm 3.5 hours away. In this case, do you understand this case?
Do you have technology?
This case is 42 months old. Yes, I have technology. This case is 42 months old, and you're in violation.
I'm more than happy to help facilitate.
You're in violation to seven
signature to a stipulated order.
You're in violation to 7 of our constitutional amendments, man. You're not a viable court. How can I? I have a court-appointed attorney. My court-appointed attorney lied to me on June 16th. He was due in court. He said that I drove to court and he wasn't there, and he told me that he couldn't make it that day. And then
Would you like Mr. Miller to stay on your case?
No, I don't.
Would you like him to stay as your attorney?
Ma'am, I want this.
Okay, then therefore, here is it again, one more time. He needs to step off your case.
I understand you're going to drag it out another. You're dragging it out in another 6 months of unconstitutional.
we're not. I can't.
Who do I file a complaint to?
I can do it sooner than 6 months.
No, you're going to do me a big favor and do it in 4 months, ma'am. This is 42 months old. Do you understand a speedy trial? Everything about this case is illegal. What about, if I write a letter to Judge Nolan and explain the truth and show him my evidence, will he read it? Because
your evidence comes at trial.
No, I want to talk to. No, I haven't gotten close, ma'am.
You can't talk to the judge without the prosecutor available.
Can I tell you something?
Attorney.
Can I tell you something, ma'am? Deborah, in the last 42 months, I have never sat in court. I have never heard the charges against me. I have never been able to present evidence crucial to my defense. This is not a case. This is a hanging. Do you understand that? You're dragging it out. You dragged it out.
I'm not dragging anything out, sir.
No, the court. I was due in court.
Were you arraigned?
Huh?
Sir, were you arraigned?
When?
Were you arraigned?
When? This case is...
Were you arraigned by video in 2019? Were you arraigned?
I was arraigned like 3 times because...
That would be yes.
Ma'am, that's another thing.
Correct. So then you have to know what the charges are because they read the charges at the arraignment. So I'm just going to ask you one more time.
I've never been in court. That was an arraignment.
I've given you the option.
I've gone through civil court and I've gone through...
As much as I would love to go in circles with you, this is what your option is.
I got no options. What you're saying...
You can sign, and I'm happy to facilitate it. I'm happy to facilitate with you a way to electronically e-sign if you so choose with Mr. Miller, so that I can get you counsel.
Why don't I do it without counsel? And I want my February 4th, my February 3rd date. I want my trial. I want my speedy trial. I'll do it without a lawyer. Your lawyers are all.
I understand.
No, that's your fault. And your lawyer fucked up. Excuse me.
No, don't blame me. I have nothing to do with that.
No, your lawyer is with Fred Miller that took himself off the case. And how come it is that Ashley knew all about this? She says she knew all about this, and then she puts me onto you, and you all of a sudden you sound like you're the enemy, and you're taking the side of the court. She said the court's wrong. Why don't you go talk to her about it? I don't understand.
I don't need to do any of that, sir. If you don't want Fred Miller on your file, you simply have to sign an order that allows him out. Somebody's got to. You don't want him on. You want to continue on your own. That's what you can do that.
Somebody's got to tell me who took Fred off my case where he didn't show up for court. Sir,
you just told me that Fred Miller took himself off the case. You can't have it both ways.
You're not listening to me.
I listened to you very clearly. You told me that your attorney removed himself in June.
No, what happened is my case. I was due in court. My trial was supposed to start on April 26th. The Secretary of State blew up my car, made it impossible for me to get there. John Miller knew all about it, and because I told him that I was having my car worked on, and I didn't know until the last minute that I could make it to trial. John Miller knew all about it, and Fred Miller knew all about it too, because I sent copies of all my contact to John Miller to Fred Miller. So Fred Miller was a witness that John Miller knew all about it. So when I didn't show up in court on the 26th, Fred Miller didn't say anything. He didn't show up for court, and John Miller said that I failed to appear. So Holoka put a warrant out for my arrest. And then I had my court-appointed attorney, Fred Miller. I was calling him, trying to beg him how to figure out how to put out a warrant out for my arrest, and I didn't know how to get that suppressed. So I fought Fred Miller to tell me how to get the right form. I got the right form. I had a date to go to the hearing to take the warrant for my arrest off on June 16th, and on the 15th, the night before, I text messaged Fred Miller and I said, "I'll see you in court the next day." And then the day of the court hearing, I was driving and I got a text message from Fred Miller that said that I won't be able to appear. So then I show up for court, and Fred Miller couldn't testify to Judge Holoka that he knew that John Miller knew all about it. At that time, John Miller wasn't in court. There was some other lawyer, and the lawyer was trying to blame me for it. And John Miller.
Mr. Schwartz, what does this have to do with you not wanting Mr. Miller on your file anymore?
The guy. What did I just tell you? The guy's been sabotaging me. This guy did.
So
for 2.
You don't want him as your attorney?
I never wanted him as my.
Mr. Schwartz, answer the question. Do you want him as your attorney or
not?
No.
How many times do I have to say it?
No. Then you will sign a stipulated order allowing him out. That is the end of the discussion.
No, you know what? I want
that.
it without a lawyer. I want my court. I want my. Forget all that. You're going to drag it out for another.
You have to sign an order allowing him out.
Okay. And
that's the only way. That's the only way he gets off. There are things called orders that the court has to follow.
Still getting paid.
In order to get him out,
is he still getting paid for this too?
That is not my department nor my business, sir.
And
he is or is not getting paid.
Let me ask you
He's
something.
still on your file. If you want him off, he needs to be off. You have to sign a
And
stipulated
why
order.
didn't he tell me that? Why didn't he tell me that 8 months ago?
Again, don't ask me questions to which you know I do not have the answer. I don't
How do
know
I
why
file a
Fred has or
complaint?
hasn't.
How do I file a
That's not my
complaint again?
concern nor
How do
my
I file
problem.
a complaint again?
Right now, I'm trying to move your case forward. In order to do that,
Let me ask you.
Keep trying to talk over to me. I'm going to be way louder than you are. So just sign the stipulated order, and you can go by yourself. How's that sound?
I have no idea. I don't know what you're doing, ma'am. And what exactly is your title, and how do you represent the circuit court?
At the end of the day, if you want Fred Miller off your case, you have to sign an order allowing him off.
Fine.
You clearly don't want him on.
Yeah, send it to me.
We have to
Okay.
find a way to do
Okay.
that. Would you like us to mail it to you? Would you like me to have Fred Miller mail you a
Fred
copy
Miller
of the
won't do
order
anything
to
for me.
release
Do you understand that? This guy lied.
Nope, that's not what nope,
Ma'am,
you're not listening.
ma'am,
You're not
you
listening.
just said you could do it
I'm going to help
electronically.
facilitate
You just
this.
said that
Would
you could do
like
it electronically.
Yep, I can do that electronically.
Then do it.
Do you have your email address?
Yes, you do.
Okay. We'll do that.
Yes, and tell me,
Okay? By next week, you'll see
tell
it.
me your title and what.
No, we're not going to play that
You
game.
won't
I'm not going to.
I don't even know who you are, ma'am. Tell me who you
You'll
are.
get a stipulated
You
order.
won't identify yourself?
Ashley told you who I was.
No, she just said she didn't. She just said she knows all about my case and she's going to help you out.
No, I was standing right here when she did. I was standing right here when she did. I will not play a
These
game.
people take
We'll
drugs
make
or
sure
something.
that
I
the
don't
order gets
understand.
to you, and you can proceed on your own.
No, you know what? Don't tell me. Just send me that paperwork. I'm not giving up on. I have no idea. I have no idea what I have to do next. When am I going to get my attorney? And what's your time frame, Deb? When do you expect me to be in court? Honestly.
So I'm going to ask you to stop talking. I'm going to go very slowly through this process one more time, and then I'm going to end our conversation.
I have no choice.
Fred Miller needs to get off your case.
Yeah.
In order to do that, you need to sign a stipulated order allowing him off. Should you choose to hire another, you can't afford one, well, one will be appointed for you.
Once
Mr. Miller's off the case, we'll let indigent counsel know. Sir, I said I will talk. You get to listen now.
I filled that paperwork out.
Indigent counsel will be told.
Ma'am.
They'll be contacted you. They have to file an appearance.
Ma'am.
If you want to keep your February 3rd date, I'm not really sure that your new attorney will have time to prep for a February 3rd date.
Ma'am, I don't understand. Why did Ashley send me paperwork to get a new attorney 2 weeks ago?
Because you asked for a new attorney?
Yes. And I had to send a copy of my financials and everything. Why are you acting like this is all brand new? I've already done this.
Nope, nobody's acting like it's brand new. We need to get Mr. Miller off there. Okay?
Why?
It's very simple for us to do.
I don't
You
understand.
just have to
What
agree to
about
sign the order.
I sent you 2 weeks ago a request for appointment of attorney, and if you
You
wanted
didn't
that,
send me-
why
you
didn't you
didn't
tell
send
me
me
2 weeks ago?
I couldn't have told you anything 2 weeks ago. You didn't speak to me 2 weeks ago. I will contact
won't
Fred
tell me
Miller.
who you
We'll
are,
do a
and
stipulated order with allowing him to withdraw. Sir, I've already told you
in
who
other
I
words,
was, and so did Ashley. I
Can
will
I
not
speak
play a
to
game.
Ashley, because Ashley seems like she's got more knowledge of this case, ma'am.
Nope, I have full knowledge of your case. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, I have no
We'll
choice.
get you the email to have him sign off, and we'll send you the further information.
And you're going to send.
okay,
And
for
when
a
you're
new-
going to
for a new
send?
attorney.
When you're going to
Should you
email? When you're
choose.
going to email that to me? You could send it today.
We're going to contact Fred Miller to let him know that he needs to draft that order. I'll have it sent to me, and we'll send it off to you.
Fred Miller sabotaged my case.
Sir, I'm no longer willing to argue with you. Okay.
Okay, and then what happens?
That's the next step.
Yeah, and then what?
You can sign it. It can come back to this office, and another counsel can be appointed for you. That set of counsel will contact you, and then you can meet with them and decide what your plan's going to be.
And what's the time frame on that?
I don't know. It depends on what your next counsel is. I don't have any control over that. This court doesn't have control over that. Ashley doesn't have control over that. Whoever your next counsel will have control over when they do or don't contact you.
So you can give me new counsel and they don't have to contact me, and there's nothing I can do.
No, nobody said that they don't contact you. They will contact you. We can't tell them when to contact you.
Well, what's a reasonable
that's how
time
we
frame?
don't
2
get.
weeks? A month? 2 days?
I don't know what a reasonable time frame is.
I don't understand. What kind of court? Don't you have rules and regulations? How is this ever going to get ahead?
Mr. Schwartz, this conversation is now over. You
Deborah,
already know the next step.
I need to know
I'm happy
about
to set
when
that
my
up and
next.
get that.
When
No,
do
you
you
don't-
expect my trial to begin?
I don't know. Hopefully soon.
Like when? Just give me you know a lot about the court. This is your court. Give me an idea.
I cannot do that at the moment. Your attorney will have to contact our office.
Just give me a time frame. If everything rolls around smoothly, how long? When can I expect my speedy trial?
I cannot give you that right now.
When could I get it?
Your attorney will have to contact our office.
So what I have to do is just keep calling
Okay.
back to it.
So have
Do
a
I have
good
to
day,
call
Mr.
back?
Schwartz.
I'll call back.
I will-
I'll call back next week and find out
No.
if Fred Miller ever contact you. I'll just contact you people every week.
He will. Yep. We'll make sure.
Okay. And what department
We'll
are
make
you
sure.
in, Deborah?
We'll make sure. No worries.
Hello?
Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
We've already identified that.
You have. Are you in? Are you
Forward
in?
to the email
Are you in?
for the stipulated order.
Are you in? Are you in?
Mr. This conversation is now over. I'm going to politely say, have a good day.
Are you
and hang up.
in Judge
The next
Nolan's
thing you're gonna
court?
get is
Why?
an
What's the
email.
big mystery? That's
Have a
why
good day,
everybody's
Schwartz.
confused in your
Bye.
department. Nobody knows what you're doing. Lapeer County taxpayers don't know what you're doing either. That's why you're getting away with it. My speedy trial, you're dragging it out. My 42-month speedy trial, you're going to drag it out for 5 years, you criminals. This is what Lapeer County taxpayers are paying these people for. This is the most corrupt county in Michigan. They're in violation of 7 of our constitutional amendments. Pitiful. That's it for now. There is no justice in Lapeer County.